Well, hello there, public people.
Internet.
We're here. Tan and Bill.
Not
Ravings.
quite queer, but, that's all right.
Yeah, you know how it is. It's a perfectly valid lifestyle choice. It's fine. I don't care.
So we're talking a little bit about the anti-hero.
Yeah. Well, what happened was I was walking out of my house today to come down to the recording studio, and I passed by one of my seasons of Dexter I have on DVD, because, remember, I like to buy my media.
It's a good show. I enjoy it.
I do, too. I love the show Dexter, but
I don't like to buy the media, though.
I know, yeah. He's a renter.
I'm a cheap prick.
Yeah, you know how it is. I like to keep it honest and not pirate, though.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll rent, but I don't want to watch anything often enough to own it. Well, very few.
Well, I'm a total cheap ass. I watch the same video 50 or 60 times. I definitely get my money's worth.
I have a couple movies like that I do. We've got what we call our classics list, and it's only something that we're like, damn, that was an amazing movie.
Like Spaceballs?
Yeah, exactly.
Spaceballs is so good.
A great American cinematic classic.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, Dexter, I think that's a great show. I've watched it a lot.
Me too.
But he's not the only anti-hero out there. There's a shitload of them.
Well, we were talking, you mentioned Batman is an anti-hero.
Yeah. He's a criminal that everybody loves.
Yeah, Mickey and Mallory from Natural Born Killers, which is one of my favorite love stories. I think it's the most pure love story of all time.
Aww.
So good. That's the kind of love I want one day. It really is.
You need to be soaked in blood.
Dude, that's hot. Don't even deny it. Like the movie Blade. And the scene where the sprinklers turn on, all the blood showers down on the crowd, the rave. I'm like, dude, that is hot.
Blade was badass.
Yeah,
but only with Wesley Snipes though.
Right.
That other one the series had was crap.
Faux Blade.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what's with our fascination with people who are kind of really the bad guy, but the good guy at the same time?
I don't know. I think on some level we all want to get away with something.
Mm-hmm.
We all want to try and get away with some evil doings. But in a good way. And then when we see these stories about people doing it, we're like, hell yeah!
Right, I could do that. That'd be awesome.
I could totally kill people.
Yeah, but then, like, there are people who have been arrested. There was a kid, like a 14 or 15-year-old kid, that killed his little brother and blamed it on the show Dexter. So he's like, oh, the show influenced me and made it so that I wasn't able to control these impulses, and I just wanted to feel like what it was like to take a life. So I had to kill my little brother. I think he was like wrestling with him or something.
Watch the light go out of their eyes.
I know,
like they
right?
mentioned in that one season.
Right? Yeah, when Dexter was working with Lumen, that was an awesome scene.
Oh,
that was my favorite one. I love Lumen.
Spoilers for those of you who haven't watched it.
If you haven't seen it, you don't know who Lumen is, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, you'll figure it out somewhere way the hell down the line.
Yeah, my favorite.
But yeah, it's a cool show. I don't know. I think the only thing that would really stop me from being like Dexter and a serial killer is the fact that I'm way too lazy to clean up the mess.
Well, that's why you would break the plastic everywhere, dude. What the fuck?
You know how much work is involved?
I know, it's got to take him like 2 days to set up the killer room. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure he's had a lot of practice, but I'm not doing all that shit.
No, I mean, I guess if I was going to have to go that way, if I was going to become a serial killer, I'd have to... Really, I'd become a wealthy person so I could do that, like, Hostel, the movie Hostel, and go and they just bring me people to kill.
Dude, that fine. Oh, man.
That's like one of the worst... I hated that movie. I thought it was so disgusting.
The first one I saw, I was under the influence of cannabis when it happened, and I just sat there riveted to the screen like, what the fuck?
The scene with the blowtorch was all it took for me. I'm like, I can't watch this. It's fucked.
That was crazy.
Oh,
but
God.
we love watching things like that. I don't know. I'm a big fan of horror films.
Like Saw.
Oh, Saw.
That was one of the best movies, in my opinion.
They drug them out way too much.
Oh, yeah, no, the first one. Whenever I mention something, I only mean the first one, anything. Unless I specifically say.
Yeah.
Like the other Star Wars, the first 3 were really good.
Episodes 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, right. Those were the good ones.
Right.
Well, you know what? A lot of people were complaining about Disney buying Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're going to ruin it. They're going to make it all for kids like the first 3 episodes. The
prequel, the whatever.
The prequels, yeah. But I really think Disney's probably going to do something good with them. They have the right...
Well, the girls will turn out to be mega slut princesses. That's the definite thing that's going to happen.
Damn right, and they're going to influence their children to do the same.
Oh, yeah. Lather on that makeup and get your chi-chis out, chicks. That's what's up. Oh, yeah.
But Disney owns the company that made the Avengers movie.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Iron Man and all that.
I didn't realize that.
So they've been putting out some decent adult entertainment that's family-friendly.
Right.
They have the potential to do a really good job with the Star Wars movies. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I'm not holding my breath. However...
Well, I mean, some people are super obsessed about it, and I do enjoy a good sci-fi movie. I'm a secret geek. But
it's no secret with me.
I know, right? Yeah, it's pretty obvious. It really is. But yeah, I'm a mega geek, really.
I broke, and I almost never go to the movies for anything. But my wife and I went on our anniversary last Friday. Went to the drive-in, and I saw Man of Steel.
Okay.
Oh, that was the greatest Superman movie ever.
Happy anniversary, by the way.
10 years.
Holy cow!
That woman has got patience and a saint to put up with me that long.
I can't even get a guy to stay around for like 10 minutes. 10 years, holy shit. That's awesome.
That is a long time.
They don't like to deal with my crazy.
It's weird. It's like, when you look back at it, it doesn't seem that long ago, but then when you put that number 10 years on it, you're like, damn, that's a long time.
Yeah, I remember when you guys got married.
Yeah?
And it doesn't seem like it's been that long.
No, it really doesn't.
Yeah, I was just looking at your wedding photos a few weeks ago on Facebook, and just thinking about, how I just had, great you guys looked, but I was like, it does not, like, you don't even look like it's been 10 years in your face.
I know.
You guys look both
I'm an immortal
amazing.
and I don't age.
It's true. I saw him die the first time. Yeah.
Don't tell anybody, it's a secret.
The village turned against him. It was fucked up. We got him out of there.
Pitchforks, torches. It was psychotic.
It was like Frankenstein's monster. Yeah.
Yeah, that's way the hell off subject.
I know, right? Yeah. But yeah, what we originally had set out to talk about was what is our fascination with glorifying violence and making the anti-hero and, the hero.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's lots of people out there that have thoughts on it that are probably way more valid than mine.
Well, I think you were right, though, when you started talking about that we all have, like, secret desires to do things, to get away with things that we wouldn't normally, obviously we're not going to do. Most of us are not going to do these things. But we do all have this creepy dark side of, like, fucked up shit we would like to do. Like,
yeah.
Like, when people ask you those questions, like, if you could commit any crime, what would it be? What would you get away with? And everybody always is robbing a bank. That's not true. People are fucked up. They'd be like, well, yeah, there's some people I'd like to torture to death, really.
Have you seen previews for this other movie? I don't know if it just came out or if it's about to, called The Purge.
I saw a preview for it, and I was like, what? That looks awesome. I'm scared of it. I'm like, that probably is going to happen.
It might. That would be a great way to put things to rest, though. I mean, get all your fucking anger out in one day.
I'd head the fuck out of town, dude, because I know I'd be one of the targets. Like, she needs to shut her goddamn mouth. And I need to go. I'm going to be out in the middle of the lake so I can see people coming after me.
Just be like a couple openings in my house, all lined up with 50 caliber machine guns. Like,
right.
You should go elsewhere today.
Well, yeah, I hope that they would at least give us the warning that this is going to happen and not just come on like 10 minutes before, hey, in 10 minutes this 12-hour thing is going to start. You better run.
We told 2/3 of the nation. but today you get to hear.
Well, and really,
people are going to go crazy and kill you today.
If they did come out and say that, if the Fed came out and was like, it's fine to do whatever you want for the next 12 hours, no one will be prosecuted, would people just like immediately jump on that, or would they be like, I think they're lying to us, they're trying to do something to me? Because I'd be paranoid. I'd be like, I don't believe it. I'm going to have to wait for next year. I'll hide out.
Yeah, exactly. If they were going to come in yearly thing, I think it would probably take 2 or 3 years before a majority of people caught on to like, well, I guess I can get away with it.
Well, the rest of us paranoid fucks would have been dead after the first year. No, I can't even defend myself. I don't trust them.
I'm afraid I'm going to go to jail for stabbing the guy who's trying to kill me with a chainsaw.
Well, I mean, it has happened.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think somewhere deep down we all do have something that we really want to do, whether it's
a beast in us.
Yeah. We're all animals. Mm-hmm. We're giant hairless monkeys.
Yeah. Some people aren't quite so hairless. It made me like smile in my eyes. I'm like, I know some really hairy fucks.
We've got some friends that
look like Wookiees.
They look like they're wearing sweaters when they take off their shirts. I love it.
Yeah. My favorite thing though is, I'm gonna put this back down for a second, but my favorite thing is when a guy's chest hairs grow up out of their shirt and they're just like hanging out of the top like this. That is so funny to me. It's like, why don't you just trim it down around your collar line? My God.
I saw this great picture. Some guy who has that overabundance of chest hair. I think I saw it on Facebook, but he had grown a mustache, and then the handlebars came down his neck, connected to the chest hair, and then went in a circle around his nipples.
Dude.
It was awesome, but I can't see keeping it past the time to take that one picture.
At all. Oh. And I don't care what people say. Burt Reynolds style went out of style back in the fucking like late 70s, early 80s. No one likes it. Just like nobody wants the 70s bush. Nobody wants the 70s bush, and nobody wants the 70s chest. Get to town. You don't have to wax it. Just, be reasonable.
Yeah, you gotta trim it back stuff up once in a while.
I'm not saying you need a full body Brazilian, but my God, keep yourself under wraps.
Listen, fellas, ladies are far more interested in that area if it's not going to gag them to death.
I know, right? Yeah, I'd totally be interested in that whole exchange, except I don't want to choke to death on a hairball. Gross.
I think in my adult life, the worst I've done was like a year without trimming. And there were parts of me being strangled down there. You don't want to do it?
Yeah, I've always taken care of my whatnot business that way, but I did go for a year without shaving my legs just to see what would happen. And at the time, I worked at a bank. And I wore skirts and dresses all the time, and the branch manager had to come to me and say, your leg hairs are like this long, and they're coming out of your pantyhose and your tights. So can you,
I'm
wear
adapting
pants?
a more European lifestyle.
Right? That's actually what I said, and I'm like, what are you going to do about it? There's nothing you can do. Obviously, I don't work there anymore, so,
Fuck 'em.
Obviously, there was something they could do. No, I quit that job.
It's kind of funny. My wife will go a year or two at a time without shaving her legs. But her hair is so thin and so light, you can't see it from 3 feet away.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's got beautiful skin and everything.
Yeah. Asians, what he can do.
Right. His wife's super hot. No joke. She is.
Obviously, I got a good personality. I never would have stood a chance.
No, that's the thing. We're going to do an episode coming up about how the everyday Joe can land a 10.
Yeah. Doing your whole...
Everyday game, too. Yeah.
Tana knows the secret, guys.
I do. I've been...
Just shit.
Well, that's the thing, is if people would listen to me, they get laid way more often, but they don't listen. They're like, no, I can't try that because it sounds stupid. Well, if you try it, you'd get some pussy once in a while.
Yeah.
Since you won't try it, that's why you never get laid.
There you go.
And I give my advice freely, but people are like, no, that's stupid. That'll never work. Well, how do you know? Who's
know
the girl here?
I did the whole shy thing. I can't talk to a girl.
And how did it work out for you?
What if she says no? Yeah, I went with only psychopaths that approached me for a long time, and then...
And that's the danger, though. If you wait for someone to approach you, you're going to get the dregs of society. Mm-hmm. You have to go and spy what you want, and then change it up. I want to try this person, I want to try that person. Then that's how you find the one you want to keep.
Absolutely.
You don't just pick up the first person you come across. My God,
I'm sinking into this damn couch.
I know, right? Yeah, we're sitting on a tiny little couch.
Yeah, eventually we're going to have to get a studio, but that means you guys got to tell your friends about this show and get them to watch and get them to tell others. So actually build advertising.
Yeah, subscribe. That would be awesome. It would also be awesome if you'd share, comment.
Even go to our Twitter pages and become friends. I'm Babbling Bill 1 at Twitter.
I'm Tana Talks. At Tana Talks.
Yeah,
hashtag. Yeah, whatever. But yeah.
Podcast. Hashtag No Pig Wrong Hole.
Right. But yeah, you can also follow No Pig Wrong Hole too.
In some areas.
But I've been tweeting the shit out of it ever since I opened my personal Twitter. I love it. And I'm like, you know what? I love Twitter way more than I love Facebook. And I didn't think it was possible because I was an obsessive, checking my friends out constantly on Facebook, and now I can check out the whole world. I'm like, what's this person doing?
Well, you get that news feed with Facebook. When I first looked at Twitter, all I was seeing was that news feed that changes constantly. You open up the page, and then 10 seconds
37
later, 37 new messages. And I'm like, I'm never going to read all of this. Why do I even have this account? But now I've kind of figured it out.
It was kind of overwhelming, though, at first.
It was.
Yeah.
It wasn't very self-explanatory.
No, and then I got our account suspended because I didn't understand how to use it. And they sent me this really shitty message. And they said, if you don't stop...
We've got a problem
you're causing spam. If you don't stop, we're going to permanently suspend your account. I'm like, what did I do? All I did was write to Hillary. I thought Hillary Clinton would be interested.
You wrote to Hillary Clinton, name. That's what you
did. Well, I wrote to Michelle, too. I wasn't a hater. Yeah. I love both the first ladies. I mean, clearly I stuck with the Democratic side. You know how it is. We don't have a Green Party first lady. Who am I supposed to write to?
How sad is that? I'm not a big fan of Obama. Not that I give a rat's ass about Democrat. I don't give a rat's ass about Democrat, Republican.
No, I don't either.
But damn, she is the hottest first lady we've ever
had. Michelle is gorgeous. And they talk about her buff arms, and she does have a rockin' body. But
the woman takes care of herself.
Yeah, she's got a great face. Her hair looks great. I mean, everything. And then their daughters are beautiful young ladies. They're gonna have some trouble with those girls. They're well-behaved children.
Not really, because those girls are gonna be followed by the Secret Service.
Well, that's true. Well, I don't know. The Bush girls, they were followed too, and they were still sneaking away doing crazy stuff. Well, but they turned out to be fine young women.
The Secret Service is hell, Daddy's a retard. Why take care of the daughter?
I know, right? Yeah, but the Obama family are quite attractive. Although Barack, his hair is getting more gray the longer he's in office. I'm a little worried about his health. Although he's got that great health care.
That happens. Yeah, no shit. They get much better health care than we do.
I know, right? I have none.
Every single president has done that, though. They always go into office with full color in their hair, and within a year, boom, they're all gray. I
wonder if it doesn't somehow literally suck the life out of them. The stress of the job. Maybe there is this crazy secret stuff that we don't know about that the day they take office, they're like, hey, this is some fucked up shit you need to know that could possibly happen during your presidency.
Did you ever listen to Bill Hicks, the comedian? He died in, I think, 96 or 97 cancer. But if you look up Bill Hicks, he's got some amazing comedy. Just really good like, put your fucking mind somewhere else type of stories.
Mm-hmm.
But one of them was he thought when you get elected to the presidency, here's what happens. You wind up in this smoky room, and there's all these huge business executives around a table. They're lighting up and puffing on their cigars, and then they drop down the screen and start a slideshow. It's the JFK assassination. From an angle you've never seen before. Any questions?
I could see that because...
it's very possible. I think a lot of people go into those offices with the best of intentions, and it just gets all fucked up.
I firmly believe that President Obama had the best of intentions. I loved the guy when he got elected.
He seemed like a good guy.
Yeah, and I don't think he's a bad guy. He did not surpass my expectations for sure. Did not even meet my expectations.
No.
Let alone surpass them.
I mean, the whole world's in a really fucked up place. Anybody who thinks they want to be in charge of it has probably got some massive psychological issues.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
Yeah, I don't need to be in charge of 7 billion people. Fuck that.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is that, it's not supposed to be the whole world you're in charge of.
No.
But everybody seems to think it is.
Even a small group of people, even if you got together like 1,000 people, they can't make the decisions for everybody. That's too fucked up. There's just way too much going on in the world for any group of people to think they've got a handle on it.
Right.
Let it go.
Well, and that's the thing is that you only understand what you understand and have experienced and what you can relate to your own life experiences. So how could you possibly understand what the rest of humanity needs?
Exactly.
There's no way that you could. Any individual could. That's why the Greeks did the whole Congress thing and elected many, many people to do their thing, to do their government. They didn't have. Well, I guess.
But even that fell apart.
Well, yeah, that's because they kept spreading their territories wider and wider and wider, and they wouldn't back the fuck down. Jesus, you can't expect your army to be able to defend the whole world against yourself.
I will tell you something, though. Since I do a lot of conspiracy research, my favorite hobby. Have you ever heard of, what do they call it? I think it's the doppelganger theory or whatever. They've got I know what doppelganger means. Yeah, there are some photographs out there where people are doing comparisons, and I've seen like
the Nicolas Cage vampire thing?
Cage, Keanu Reeves, where they're showing this is a 200-year-old photo or something, and it looks exactly like he does right now. I have seen statues of busts of Egyptians, and they look exactly like Michelle and Barack Obama.
What?
Yeah.
Here's
a couple of immortals that have been running things forever.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, that would explain why she looks so good. She's had eternity to perfect her appearance. I could see it.
I've been working with P90X for 6 months and I can't get in shape. Well, she had 15,000 years to do it.
Right. Well, I guess I could see it. Not really. That's crazy.
It is and it isn't.
Who
knows?
Well, I don't know. Maybe when people are reincarnated, their bodies kind of look the same as their last incarnation. I don't know.
It could be. I don't remember my last incarnation, so I couldn't tell you.
Oh, I remember mine. I was Cleopatra and Joan of Arc and Aphrodite. Oh, wait, she was a goddess.
I think I was Pippi Longstocking.
I think that was the line of a song I just did real quick. Oh, yeah. It was! It really, I just had the whole thing, the whole notes and everything. That's a good one. That's one of my favorite songs. I just now remembered I even liked it.
I still can't think of the hook line, but I know what song you're talking about.
Yeah. She's so high above me.
That's right.
She's so lovely. Like Cleopatra, Joan of Arc, or Aphrodite.
Wow. Nobody's ever going to pay me to sing.
You know what?
I understand that.
I have the voice of an angel. It's just the rest of humanity's ears are not equipped to hear my radiantness. I am so magnanimous.
I have a voice that could destroy earlobes.
Well, instead of gauging it, they can just call you.
Yeah, there you go. Look, we need some big piercings. We need to sing some stuff.
A little ditty.
Yeah. About Jack and Diane.
2 American kids growing up.
Into her name.
Yeah.
I actually used to take care of the lawn for his grandmother.
Really? Weird. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, it's a small world.
No, actually, John Mellencamp's a really cool guy. I met him once. I was sitting in a little bar in Terre Haute, and there were maybe 5 people in the bar. Then 2 guys come in raincoats. It was a shitty night out, carrying guitar cases. Didn't even realize until they're setting all their stuff up and they take off the raincoats. It's John Mellencamp and this other dude I'd never seen before. But they just sat down and played a set for an hour.
That's very cool.
And I'm like, bring them beer. I'll buy it.
I once thought I saw James Van Praagh at the Merchandise Mart in Chicago, but it wasn't him, and I ran screaming across the corridor. I'm like, James Van Praagh! James Van Praagh!
Just pretend that you're him.
Right? And the guy's like, tell me if you... I'm like, oh, sorry, my bro. I thought you were the psychic. So, yeah.
Obviously, I didn't see that coming.
No. I did meet Dolly Parton's cousin once. I did see...
I met Dolly Parton.
Did you?
Yeah.
How's she doing?
She was huge.
I bet. Yeah, I bet. I did see Kate Hudson from afar when I was on vacation in New Orleans, lovely city. And they were filming the movie Skeleton Key. That's how long ago it's been since I've had a vacation. Feel bad for me. And, yeah.
I think I went on vacation the year it came out on video.
There you go. So it was a year later.
Yeah. I need a vacation. Jesus. Yeah.
I kept trying to be in the film, too. I kept walking through the set. And I ate the worst omelet of my life. Sitting there on Jackson Square at this little restaurant on the square. It was
trying to get into the movie?
Well, no, I was just hungry and saw that they were filming. I didn't know they were going to be filming there, and I just walked in. I'm like, I like omelets. And so I sat there and ate the shittiest, greasiest ham and cheese omelet I've ever tried to eat while just watching them film.
That's not something to brag about, because
no.
New Orleans is known for their food.
Yeah,
and then I went and ate the shittiest thing I've ever had.
But the thing is, I ate some amazing other food. I ate some good food at the airport there. The airport, gumbo was actually pretty good. I was shocked. I'm like, this is pretty good gumbo.
Good shit, man.
Right? I like this gumbo. Yeah, but that omelet was horrible. But I just kept walking back and through the set. But I watched the film in the theater. I wasn't in it. And I made sure, to be like,
pick up the camera and look at the special features. They didn't show me at all.
Nothing. Who's this weird girl he's walking around?
Yeah, I've never been in it. My big claim to fame, there was a steel mill explosion when I was in middle school. And Chicago news stations were in the area, and I walked literally between the cameraman and the news anchor who was broadcasting live and just went, "Hi, Mom!"
One time I was walking out of school when I was in high school, and the news vans were outside because one of the other students had been arrested for molesting a bunch of kids at a daycare center. So I was walking.
That, yeah.
Yeah, do you? And I was walking out of the building and just I don't live in this town where these creepers exist and live and molest kids.
Please don't affiliate my face with this
story. Right,
story.
exactly, right. I just go to the school, and that was a terrible thing, bastard.
Yeah, you never see the anti-hero story of the child molester.
Mm-mm. No, and I don't even think it would be possible to redeem that quality. So that, because like Dexter, he kills people, but he's like, no, I would never touch kids.
I never hurt kids, and I only take the bad people.
Right, exactly, and that's why and then when he inadvertently caused the death of someone, which I'm not going to discuss in case you actually want to watch that episode, then he really felt bad about it. He's like, I can't believe that I broke the code I'm supposed to be living by. And so though he's a killer, he's a good guy. I'd hang out with him. And if you were in his inner circle, you don't need to worry then. Yeah. He's always got your back.
If you're not killing people, he's not going to fuck you over, no.
Exactly. Maybe. Yeah, he wouldn't. But, but if you are around fire, eventually fire from somewhere else will come and burn you.
This is true.
So, and that did happen in a few episodes, so good times now. Yeah, really.
As much as I enjoy the show, every season is identical. They just change the characters.
I know, yeah. Well, there's other shows that I like True Blood. Bill is becoming quite the anti-hero.
No. I didn't.
New season getting ready to start. I do too, yeah.
For all the guys out there who are like, oh, supernatural romance shit, that's something my wife would like.
Titties everywhere. Lots of them, yeah. I actually was super uncomfortable. The first time I watched it, I didn't realize how graphic it was going to be. And I put this DVD, I'm sitting there with the guy I'm dating at the time, and the first scene is like...
So we're watching softcore porn, what are you thinking?
And I was like... wow, yeah, because the first scene involved, the scene after the intro, I guess, but the first scene with Jason Stackhouse in it, and he's going to town with this chick, and I'm like, holy shit.
He looks almost exactly like my Uncle Steve.
I think he looks just like President Bush, the younger.
Oh.
In the face, he's got this, his eyes are too close together, and he's not a bad-looking guy,
I've seen some young Bush pictures, and...
No? You don't think so?
I don't think they're too close, but...
And then he gets
if
to
I
smile
had some photos of my Uncle Steve... When he was a younger guy, man, he looked exactly like
buff too.
Yeah,
because I'm not saying
player.
Yeah, former President Bush, I'm sure did not look beefcake. I'm sure, but in the face,
even when he was in the military, the National Guard.
Right. Yeah, but I don't think that he looks like him body wise, but I think in the face he had some characteristics that were similar, especially when he does those smirk smiles like that. I can't really reproduce it, but you know.
I know which one you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, I said the word right?
I can't believe I watched that crap.
I know, yeah. I do. I love True Blood, though. But, the new season's getting ready to start. I'm pretty excited about it. But, Bill and Eric, even on those shows, those two major male characters, they're definitely anti-heroes because they are some sons of bitches.
Well,
but they're the good guys, but the evil guys, too. You don't know if you can trust them or not. I really hope that Eric turns out to be a good guy because he's so hot. I don't think I can take it if he's... guys, I love him. I'd make babies. I would make babies with that man.
I would make blood-sucking babies with that guy.
I would. I don't even need the babies. I'll just practice. It's fine. Oh, my God. He's so hot. I actually bought a poster. I'm like an adult, and I bought a poster and I could look at him. I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh God,
He's so good.
There's somebody on my newsfeed on Facebook who lives with their mother. They're like, yeah.
Nothing wrong with it. We're in rough economic times.
Yeah, rough economic. The whole social dynamic of the family has changed. But he had posted something on Facebook about how he was going on a date with this girl, and he's pretty sure he's going to be able to bring her home.
To his mom's house?
His mom had posted, well, as soon as he leaves the house, I'm putting Justin Bieber posters all over his bedroom.
That's hilarious.
It's warm in here.
It is. That's why I wore almost no clothes.
That's all right. You know what? I can fix the warmth. You can keep talking.
I'll keep talking. I'm going to take the whole screen. Hey, I'm Tana. My podcast is called Tana Talks. If you'd like to watch me singly, solely, flip over and watch Tana Talks.
Not now.
But yeah, wait a little bit, because Bill likes to have some camera time too.
Yeah, and I don't do my own show yet.
He will.
Someday I might.
Yeah.
I've got some thoughts on it. Our buddy Matt and I were talking about doing one on comic books.
You know what? I would love to be on a show about comic books.
God, I am such a nerd. I've got so much useless information based on them in my head. I could do plenty of hours on it.
Well, and then I could be the token girl that sits there, because though I've never read a single comic book, I do love the movies.
I've seen the movie version.
And not all of them, just the X-Men movies. But I love comic book movies, just the X-Men movies. And the Batman movies, and the Superman movies, and the Spider-Man movies, and the Iron Man movies.
When you see Man of Steel, you're going to be happy as shit. I'm probably going to see it again in the theater at some point.
Is it in 3D? Because I love 3D movies.
It probably is.
They're so expensive.
They're ridiculous. And you know what I hate is watching a movie that was made in 3D when I'm not watching it in 3D. Because then there's just random shit near the edge of the screen.
It's really close to your face.
And there's no reason for it.
There was a movie, the first 3D movie I'd seen as an adult, My Bloody Valentine. They remade it.
I remember seeing that.
And yeah, so like axes and stuff are flying at the screen. It comes like this close to your face when you see. Yeah, and then I saw
another anti-hero guy of mine from Supernatural.
Yeah. Yeah, what's up with all these anti-heroes?
I don't know. Supernatural's a badass show, though.
It is. I had seen 1 or 2 episodes over the years while it was on, and I just started watching on Netflix.
That's what got me. I was just looking for something to watch on Netflix.
Yeah, so I'm on like episode 3 of season 1, and it is really good. And the older brother is super hot. Yeah, he is. I like good-looking guys.
Me too.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I don't.
No, but he does like dude, his wife is so hot. He doesn't even look around, I'm sure. We're going to try to get her on the show, but she's super
shy.
She's very shy, but oh my God, she's beautiful, and you guys would all agree.
I told her she had to do her own cooking show. My God, she made this barbecue chicken last night. That was the most amazing thing I've ever eaten in my life.
I don't
make it again tonight.
Is it actually just leftovers from yesterday?
No, she's actually got out all new chicken, and she's making it again. I'm like, we gotta film you doing this so you can teach the world. I made some rocking Italian beef the other day in the crock pot, because that's how I roll. And it was so good. And then there was just a little bit of meat left over. I made some beef stew with it yesterday. But yeah, I always ruin things by adding too much broth to everything. So I'm like, well, this did taste really good until he's like watered down vegetables. I fucked that up. I know, and I'm like, oh well, it's edible. I've made much worse food. I make good food sometimes. That's one of the reasons I want to get my own greenhouse and start my aquaponics setup, so I can have all the fresh fruits and vegetables I want. And herbs, like an herb garden would be great. A huge herb garden where I could just take fresh stuff. So just having a bag of dried dill that you're it smells kind of like pickles. When you've got fresh herbs and spices to work with, there's nothing comparable. It's just awesome. But I love just inventing and throwing random shit into a pot. And sometimes it turns out gross. I've not had that problem too many times. It does happen occasionally. No, I made this one. It was supposed to be it was stuffing made out of walnuts and raisins and apples, and it was supposed to be. It was not supposed to be sweet. I can't really describe it. It's so fucked up. And I made this up, and I cut up pork chops, and I browned them and put them in there. I was gonna make a weird casserole thing. And I tried. While I was cooking, I'm like, my God, it smells like vomit. And I could I'm like, but well, it's just because when you cook butter, it smells kind of gross. But then it turns out okay once you cook it. But no, this I finished it. I tried to take a bite, and then I tried to convince myself. I'm like, no, it's okay to eat this. Keep going, you're gonna be all right. Think of all the people across the world that would just die to have this food. They have no access to food, and I'm like, I can't fucking eat this.
And I tried. I'm like gagging. I'm like, I'm gonna wretch up the other food I've eaten today if I keep trying to eat this. I have damn near killed myself cooking like that. That's terrible.
Yeah, I think my worst, like, I've had really good oyster stuffing at Thanksgiving from certain people.
Yeah.
And I tried to recreate it like 5 or 6 years ago. Took it to my uncle's for Thanksgiving, and
did you try it before you went?
I did not.
That's a mistake, right?
I was not the first to taste it. Somebody else did, and it just turned out horrible. Nobody would eat any of it. I took a couple bites, and I'm like, that's it. It's got to go in the garbage.
Yeah. Yeah.
I must waste things now.
I know, and I feel terrible about wasting edibles. Like, I feel terrible.
Luckily, I've got a lot of critters around my house, so any food that I don't find edible, I just throw it out in the backyard, and it's gone in a few hours.
Well, yeah, you have all those feral cats. I saw like 400 of them.
Oh, my God.
His neighbor's infested with feral cats.
I think they are all inbred, too.
I'm sure.
Because they are the most retarded cats I've ever seen in my life.
Well, ever since you told me about the ones that you saw with the bugged-out eyes, I can't stop thinking about it. And I'm like, oh, my God, how is it possible they've lived? And then I assume, because they can't blink their eyes.
No.
So, like, how in pain their eyes must be from being so dry and they can't possibly see.
As much as I have no issue with hunting, I felt bad. I didn't want to, like, go outside with a .22 and start putting them out of their misery. Because I didn't
But it's not humane. I mean, these cats they're starving.
Yeah.
They don't, unless you feed them, they don't have access to food.
But, I can tell you, there is I have a neighbor that's like 90 years old. She feeds me.
Oh, does she? Okay.
That's why they're
around. But
around.
it's so cold in the wintertime here.
Well, yeah,
and they obviously they're making it okay, though.
She puts together, like, a big structure with straw and makes a big box. Or
what a
house.
sweetheart.
And they have a nice warm place to live.
Aw, but yeah, she's taking care of the wild cats. That's
Well,
sweet.
the problem is we live right next to a university, and all these kids get pet cats when they're on their own for the first time, and then they throw them out. Because cats are fucking annoying. I hate my cat.
Shout out to Bitch Mittens. Bitch Mittens is one of the fraternity cats downstate a little bit. Bitch Mittens is the shit.
I've never heard of Bitch Mittens.
No, Bitch Mittens, yeah, she's a cat that the fraternity brothers had adopted a couple years ago, and they just keep this cat around the frat house, and her name is Bitch Mittens.
That could be a good slogan for a product. You know?
Right. I love the names they come up with.
Here, try our new Bitch Mittens.
I love the names those kids come up with, though.
Pole like nobody's business.
It's true. Girls, girls, girls. We have tent poles. Yeah.
But no, you know what? I think one of the worst. Well, you know what? I've always called it the scariest movie ever made. Have you ever seen The Human Centipede?
No.
Do you know anything about it?
I know what both creatures are, humans and centipedes, but other than that,
okay. The whole premise behind the movie, The Human Centipede, is that there's a crazy doctor who used to be a great, brilliant surgeon that could separate, like, conjoined twins.
Okay.
And after he retired, his dream was to sew people together. Literally, mouth to ass.
But if it was only two of them, it would be like yin yang.
No, basically what he is,
Circle?
like the first 15 minutes of the movie, the guy has gotten 3 people that he's kidnapped, and he has surgically altered them so they're just connected mouth to asshole. 3 people in a row. Only one of them gets to eat actual food.
Well, no, yeah, the other ones clearly consume leavings.
Exactly. And there's a horrible scene where the guy in the front is Japanese, does not speak English. So everything he says is subtitled at the bottom.
Well, the other ones, how could they speak? Because
they can't, because their mouths are sewn to his asshole.
How fucked up is this?
But here's the thing, like...
God!
It's the stupidest fucking premise I ever seen in my life, and what makes it scary is that somebody read this script and said,
This is great!
I have to make this film! Take my money, please!
Yeah, well...
That's a scary fucking concept. And then they made a sequel.
I don't like that.
No, some of the shit coming out of, well, not necessarily Hollywood, because it was kind of a B movie, but just movie makers in general, man. What the fuck is going on in your head?
I saw, I'm gonna butcher the name of the movie most likely, but it was, well, it was a zombie movie. It was called like Zombies in the Hood or something, but it was the lowest budget movie I'd ever seen.
I remember seeing like the box at the video store, but
yeah. My mom has this habit of every time she goes to the video store, she buys like $75 $2 used movies that no one would ever want to watch. And that's an exaggeration, but it's really not an exaggeration. And so I have access to all the worst movies on earth, like the movie Werewolf Hunter. Terrible film.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, yeah, don't. Don't.
You'll never get that time back.
No, but yeah, I mean, like there was a knockoff version of The Hills Have Eyes that I watched that was like the worst movie ever. Then The Hills Have Eyes was kind of scary. It was a pretty good little movie.
That remake was pretty good.
Yeah, and then,
I never watched the second of the remakes.
Yeah, but I saw one called like The Hills. But it was like the exact same story. It was taken from the exact same like alleged happenings. And it just, I mean, God.
Yeah. I'm tired of knowing the whole story within the first 10 minutes of the film.
Right, well, and I'd like to know...
And not being surprised at any of it.
True story about that. But, like, you people who write movies, you really should consult someone that, like, in your audience about, hey, does this seem like bullshit to you? Because I've seen the worst films. If they would have just asked somebody, they would have been a totally different outcome.
Just call me. I'll talk to you.
Well, like, and if you're doing it, if you're doing, like... You know, there's a great movie, and then you're doing the second movie of it. Stay with the same shit from the first movie. Don't try to change all the mythology and stuff around and the methodology, and think that you can just like Blade. Well, now we're gonna have vampires that have teeth that open this way because they're space aliens. What the fuck is that? And nobody liked that shit. And I just picked that movie because I saw it a few weeks ago, but it's the worst piece of shit ever.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so many things that I've been excited because I've seen a preview and I'm like, that looks fucking amazing. Yeah. And then I start watching the movie and I'm like, oh, they put all the amazing parts in the preview.
I like when you see a preview and then you watch a scene and you're like, that's going to be awesome, and it's not in the movie. How the fuck does that even happen? And how is that even legit?
That's one of your best selling points. Cut it.
Right, how is that even legit that they can do that?
I don't know. There's not really...
But it's not like I go to the movies very often.
Yeah. Well, I've got my own reasons for not going. For one, I don't want to spend $10 to see a friggin' movie and then... Turn it into $25 if I choose to get a soda or a popcorn.
$6 for popcorn? That's ridiculous.
I understand why they do it. I mean, I know
that's where they make their money.
Don't make any money off the actual ticket sales. But I hate being in a theater where assholes are talking during the movie.
Farting.
Yeah, I don't want
to fart in the theater because we're all trapped in the dark. We can't even get out, and there's just this stench that keeps permeating from one side or the other. What the fuck? If you have to rip ass that bad, leave. We don't want to be party to it. I don't like it.
Your diet, son.
Right?
There's something wrong with you.
Put some charcoal in your panties to filter it, something. God. That's terrible.
Well, that was the worst part of the drive-in. I love the drive-in because...
Was your wife farting in the car?
No, she wasn't farting.
It ruined the whole movie.
She waits till there's no one else around and then pretend I'm the only one that does it.
She blames it on your cats.
I went inside to get some... cheeseburgers or something while we were there. Just concession stand because I tried to support
you have to support locally owned businesses.
There are so few drive-ins anymore.
There's like 40 or 50 left in the whole country.
Yeah, and luckily we've got one here in town.
Yeah.
It's a great place.
It is.
But I went in there and, I got in right as the credits started for Man of Steel. Like I was watching the last scene and stood at the door, and as soon as it was over, I walked inside. Mm-hmm. 10 seconds later, that place was completely crowded with people who hadn't bathed in a month. Might have missed their monthly bath. I don't know, but the fucking stink was beyond belief. Yeah. I have a problem. I don't like deodorants, and I don't use cologne very often because there's too much chemical shit on your body. It's not good for you.
Have you tried one of those natural deodorants just to change the subject slightly? They don't work.
I have not.
I tried it. At least I am a sweaty mofo because that stuff I'm like, Jesus, nobody wants to sit by me. I become the smelly kid in class.
Man, I'm like 200 pounds. I sweat plenty, especially working in a hot kitchen at work.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever I tell people I don't use deodorant, they're like,
"You don't stink."
Why don't you stink?
I sit by your armpits all the time.
I use soap.
Right, I bathe my body. I wash my stinky places.
Yeah.
But yeah, I sit by your armpit all the time. Yeah, I think I have more funk.
Yeah, that's all right.
And I've applied deodorant on twice already today, and it's not even like nighttime.
That shit's not protecting me at all.
No, it's clinical strength, my ass.
Well, yeah, it cracks me up because I've never seen a deodorant that'll stop you from sweating. All it really seems to do is make your sweat smell a little bit better.
Yeah.
But if I'm doing something where I'm going to be sweaty, you're going to see me sweating. There's no reason to think I'm not going to smell like sweat. And don't worry, before I go somewhere else, I'm going to wash it off.
That's why a lot of people, no joke, put panty liners in their armpits of their shirts. And they take the little thin panty liners that and they peel off the strip and apply them. Right? Yeah. The wings are the most important part. Don't get the kinds with wings that will just fuck with your mind.
I feel like Icarus.
But yeah, you just apply it to the inside of your... the inside of your shirt, you don't need it on the outside. It will do you no good. But don't apply the adhesive to your skin. Apply the adhesive to the fabric of the shirt, so that the part that would normally catch menstrual fluid or whatever is the part soaking up your sweat. A lot of guys do that when they go to job interviews. They do.
That's fucking crazy.
And it's funny that you don't know that. It's like you've been sweating through job interviews your whole life.
I have a tendency.
There's tricks of the trade.
If I'm going to be sweaty in the least bit, if I know it's hot enough outside to make you sweat, I wear 2 shirts. Because the lower layer will soak shit up and it doesn't show through.
See, I've learned all these tricks for how to, like, not look human.
That's why people can turn to you for sexual advice. You know how to pick somebody up.
Well, even like
how to trick them into believing you're not as stinky as you thought.
Right, you're not as slutty as they thought, you're not as stinky as they thought, you are not as poor or as dumb, whatever. But and another little helpful trick for any of you guys going to a job interview, if you're worried about sweaty palms, apply deodorant to your hands before you walk in. Just don't lick your hands. Yeah, it will keep your hands from being sweaty. They won't know.
Probably the worst thing. I remember getting deodorant in my mouth when I was like 12
you're
years
like,
old. Oh my god, getting that taste out was horrible.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I'd rather lick a monkey's ass.
What kind of monkey?
Maybe I wouldn't.
I don't know. I mean, the monkeys, they throw their own whatnot.
Oh man, I've seen that happen live. We went to a wild animal refuge, not wild animal, but like retired circus animals and stuff.
Okay.
They had a lot of like the lions and tigers, and it was a cool place. And then at the end of the day, if you paid like an extra $4, you got to go around and watch them all be fed. They decided to change up the schedule a little bit, and instead of feeding the chimpanzees like they were supposed to, they went the other direction. And the chimps started freaking out and making all kinds of noise. And the guide said, well, normally they're first on this tour. They're a little upset about it. This woman goes over and she's pointing at the fucking apes and she's laughing. And they just started throwing shit.
Good for them.
I'm like,
what a bitch.
That's what you get, you dumb fuck.
Well, what a bitch. I mean, God. What are you going to do? You gotta go and poke fun at the monkeys who are clearly upset.
There's so much like us. I wonder if they get angry.
Idiot. But yeah, isn't that weird that, you can go and pay a few extra dollars to watch them feed the animals at the end of the day, and there's that dairy farm not very far from here that you can go and watch all the baby cows be born, and they have it scheduled where you can watch a calf be born every 15 minutes. How is it that they are able to do this? I have no idea. I think it has something to do with their insemination process, and they know pretty much how long it takes to gestate a cow. But that's like...
They're just forcing labor on cows all the time.
Maybe they do. Maybe they just have them all in a line and they give them shots to make them go into labor. I don't know. But I don't think so, because that company says that they don't use hormones and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I don't know about that either.
They also claim to be an all-American company, but there's a lot of illegal immigrants working there. You can watch them make cheese. That's
true. They do make cheese and ice cream and that different stuff. I've never actually been to this farm, but
I've been there once. We stopped there for lunch.
Okay.
We were driving up and down.
You can just stop there for lunch?
Yeah, they have a restaurant in there.
Wow.
And
podcast from the farm coming up. I like ice cream.
I like ice cream. I like cheese. One whole wall of the restaurant is the cheese making factory.
Oh, so you can see.
So you can watch what's going on in there.
Wow.
And everybody in there they were of Hispanic descent. I couldn't tell you if they were all illegal or not. I don't care if they were. I don't really see any problem with you coming from another country and working here.
Here's the thing. I know what the United States did to the Mexican corn crop, and they can't even grow corn there and sustain themselves. So I don't have any problem with you guys needing to come and get jobs because we stole your whole fucking livelihood.
Our whole mentality on
motherfuckers, not you guys, us.
It's so skewed just to get people pissed off at one another. It's ridiculous. Like the smelly pirates.
I thought you said smelly pirates. I'm like, what?
Like them stinky pirate boys. No, the smelly pirates. Do you know why they're pirates?
No, I don't.
They were a fishing community. That's how they had made their living for hundreds of years, was going out and fishing off the coast. Well, there was some French company that overfished the waters there way too much and took out all of their livelihood. And then on top of that, some Japanese company was dumping waste in that water.
So then they can't even eat anything they could find anyway.
It completely destroyed their whole lifestyle.
Wow.
So what do they have to do? They just pick up the assholes who are coming by in boats and charge money to give them back.
Well, I mean...
Seems like a good trade. You should have been there dumping shit.
I can't say that I am in support of illegal activities, but I can definitely understand things. I can understand why sometimes people turn to one activity or another to sustain themselves, because... if you've been given no choice, you've been given no choice.
Yeah, I mean, we all got to hear the shitty stories during Hurricane Katrina. The looters, they were just tearing everything apart. No, most of them were out there stealing the food that was going to go bad and feeding people in their community.
Well, but that's...
because no one else was going to do it. No.
Well, but that's always what we like to do is the public just honestly wants to believe the worst about everybody.
Especially if you're brown.
Well, yeah, I mean,
be careful if you have brown skin.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is that a lot of times it's minorities that are targeted because people are jackasses.
Yeah.
And that's just how people are. And I don't know why it is. Well, I know why it is that way. We've been raised to be assholes. And we all have been raised to be assholes.
Stop being a dick.
Right, yeah. No more douchebags. We're sick of it.
Yeah, well, that should be our public service announcement. Stop being a douchebag. For the kids.
It's all about the kids. Yeah.
Yeah, we went way the hell off the target.
I know, right?
No, not really. I mean, all these things that we're bitching about, become your own anti-hero. It's becoming unlawful to grow your own food. Become an anti-hero there.
Well, some communities it's against the ordinances to put up a clothesline.
Yeah.
Fucking go put up a clothesline right across your front yard. Then fuck these people. Well, I'm trying to conserve energy and fucking use the sun and the wind to dry my clothes. How is that a crime? Oh well, it's an eyesore. I put the panties on the inside. I don't want people stealing my shit. Those are expensive.
But yeah, I mean, look at what are we going to do? We're just going to keep burning coal, polluting our breathable oxygen, so that you don't have to hang your shit on a line and let the wind dry. It smells better if you let the wind dry it. If there isn't shit in the wind.
No joke.
Yeah, we've got to just start doing things differently. Be better people. Make better movies, fuckers.
Yeah. And if the folks who are remaking the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, please don't fuck it up.
I didn't know they were doing that.
Oh, yeah.
I hope it's alright.
And they're redoing Snow White. I was told this by the lady that cut my hair. Yeah, Angelina Jolie's going to play Maleficent.
Really?
Yeah, and I love Angelina.
I can see that being pretty good.
I think she's gorgeous. I think Angelina's gorgeous. I've loved her ever since I saw her in Hackers. I don't care if she did make out with her brother. I don't care.
But that was her brother?
Not in that movie. No, that was actually the kid that played Dade. I don't know his real name, but that was her husband at the time, or became her husband at some point right around that time. But
at that point she was married to Billy Bob.
No, she married Billy Bob after
My celebrity gossip is crap.
I know, she married Billy Bob after that, and then she made out with her brother at the award show, and then she's with Brad Pitt now. And I was like, I don't know who she's with now. Oh yeah, Brad Pitt.
Good enough, right? Yeah.
I did like that movie, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, that they were in. It wasn't like a stellar acting film, but I like movies like that.
Yeah, it was way better than Jersey Girl, or not? Was that the one?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know. Whatever the hell they did with I'm sorry, Kevin Smith. I don't mean to make fun of Jersey Girl. Whatever the hell Brad I can't think of his name. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez.
Oh yeah,
Geely. That's what it was.
Yeah, Geely.
Why?
But there was a movie J-Lo was in that I know she doesn't want to be called J-Lo anymore. Whatever. There was a movie J-Lo was in that I really did like. It was called Enough. It was about overcoming an abusive relationship. Yeah, and I thought she was pretty badass. I'm like, kick his ass.
It was an okay remake for Sleeping with the Enemy.
Yeah. Sleeping with the Enemy freaked me out when I saw that when I was younger.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that at the drive-in.
The first movie I ever saw at the drive-in was Bambi.
I remember seeing the original Rambo at the drive-in. I remember seeing the original Poltergeist movie at the drive-in.
Yeah, I went to age appropriate.
Sometimes I say these things and I do feel old.
Mm-hmm.
That's an old movie.
It is. But yeah, Bambi was my first one, and I don't actually remember the movie except for the fire scene, and I was so scared. I was like, she's gonna die.
Cartoon flames could erupt here any time.
Well, I was like 4. I was like a child. I was like 4. Yeah. It was a good one. My mom says I spent most of the time wanting to go to the concession bathroom because it was amazing that they had like a public bathroom in like a little building. I must not have gone out much.
Yeah, we had a great drive-in in Maryville. Do you remember that one?
No, I don't.
No, it was called YW. That place was awesome. It had 3 screens.
What? That's awesome.
Each screen showing 2 movies, and then after the second movie was over, they'd play the first one again. They were only open on the weekends, and I think you paid by the carload, and kids under 11 got in free. That was a great thing. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't want a movie theater there now. That place is a rundown ghetto.
Yeah, well, we used to have some different like theme parks and amusement parks around here that have shut down over the years too.
Kittyland.
Yeah,
that was a great park.
Kittyland and Imagination Forest or something like that.
What was that place called?
What?
I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But yeah, they basically they take anything decent and take it away, and then everybody sits home and uses drugs and has sex because there's nothing to do.
But those drugs are illegal.
Exactly. But why are all the teenagers having sex and using drugs? There's nothing to do. Yeah. I was a teenager. There was nothing to do then.
That's why I had sex and got high.
Truth.
Well, I probably would have done it anyway.
But at least you would have done it less, like, frequently. You would have been doing other stuff. Like, let's go to the nightclub that frequently,
nothing spells fun like a couple drops of acid and amusement parks.
I don't like roller coasters.
Oh, I love them.
Makes me want to die.
It makes people fear death for some reason.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I used to be terrified of heights, but after I got over it, roller coasters were the way to go.
It got better.
I got better. I'm not a new anymore.
Yeah. I don't know. We've gone so far full circle.
This whole show has just been...
Well, it's like getting to know Bill and Tana show.
That's right. There you go.
Yeah. The last thing I want to bring up is I want to do an advertisement for a TV show I really like. It's called Misfits. It's on its 4th season. Season 5 has just begun taping a few months ago.
Is that the British show?
Yeah. It's what I call the British version of Heroes. And it's I think it's awesome.
Is it better than Heroes?
No.
No? Well.
No, but it's different. But why I like it is I'm learning, like, I remember I told you the meaning of the word fanny.
Oh, that's right.
And I'm learning all these new slang terms. And just yesterday I was watching the episode, and the girl looked over, she's like, next time you have a potty, you should really have some edibles. And I was like, using edibles to mean snacks is awesome.
You mean food?
Right? And I was like, they use such cute words. And so that's my new thing, is I'm going to watch the shit out of British TV. I don't have cable, so...
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but I like they hire more real-looking people, it seems, on British
They do.
shows.
There was a great...
Like, the chicks are allowed to eat once in a while. It's awesome.
Survivors, that was the show. It was a British show about, like, end times, some disease that wipes out most of the people, but it was British, and everybody
They call it Jericho when they did it over here.
Yeah, well, Jericho's a great show,
it
too,
is.
but Survivors, I mean, everybody there just looked like anyone you'd meet off the street. It's not some fake Hollywood-looking weirdo.
Right.
I'm tired of seeing that.
I would like to see people that look like people I know. Hell, hire me.
One of my favorite things that was ever on TV was Roseanne. Because that show, they didn't look like Hollywood types, and they acted like regular people.
Mm-hmm. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah. The problem is, the ones we have on TV acting like regular people now are in reality shows.
God.
They're all psychopaths.
I just started laughing to myself. I was thinking of the episode where DJ discovered masturbation. I heard you got
Everybody does it. Just don't talk about it.
I heard you got caught playing with your instrument in band. I'm not in band. It was so fun. Yeah, that's a topic for another day, though. We're going to do a whole episode about masturbation.
Oh,
probably.
absolutely. Well, we've kind of done that before, talking about
self-flogging.
Self-love.
Mm-hmm. The only way to truly prevent disease. Love yourself completely. Oh, yeah.
Actually, yeah, because we ended that show with me saying, go fuck yourself.
That's true.
It's a loving bit of advice.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, anti-heroes are fun. Comics are great. Yeah, some movies are okay.
But really, spend less time watching movies. Get out there. That's why all the movies we talk about are from the 80s, because we haven't really watched anything new.
We've been going outside a lot in the past 20 years.
Yeah. We've been going outside doing some disc golf. It's awesome. I'm really terrible.
Got to set up a camping trip soon.
Yes.
I got to get outdoors for a while.
Yeah. We've got a good plan for that. It's going to be awesome.
Although I'm kind of worried about that, because I've been seeing all these stories out of Florida with these quarter-sized mosquitoes. And I've already forgotten what they're called because they got a weird name.
Yeah, your wife knows the name, but she won't come in and tell us.
I don't even know what the hell it is. Look it up. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, but they're like huge.
20 times the size of a regular mosquito. That's fucking frightening.
And we got to get our fishing licenses, too. Because I've got a little spot on the river that we can camp at and fish to our heart's content.
That's what I'm
with a town nearby that we can go at for fun.
She's awesome. Just like my wife. She's willing to do outdoorsy stuff.
Love it. I love to shit in the woods. I'm the bear. Oh, yeah. It's good.
I'll wipe my ass with a rabbit. I don't care.
I like the rabbit fur. It's very soft.
It's soft. The shit doesn't even stick to them. It's cool.
Soft on my hemorrhoids. It's nice.
You got piles hanging off you like a bunch of grapes.
Piles. That's my favorite term for hemorrhoids. I didn't even know that was the same thing. I Googled it one day.
I heard that from Albert Brooks once, and I just thought it was hilarious.
Nice. That is nice.
You know what? This has been going on long enough. Fuck
yeah, we're ending the show.
Get the hell out of here. Go outside and play. Peace.
See ya. Bye.